All right, let's dive into the world of mobile gaming. Specifically, the ASUS ROG Phone 5. This phone, yeah, it's built for serious mobile gamers, and we're breaking down everything that makes it so special, and we're basing all this on an article we found over at RechargeMyTopup.com.
What really stands out to me is that ASUS didn't hold back. They went all in on making a phone just for gamers. It's not like they just threw in some fancy specs. No, they built a whole experience.
Okay, so this phone, it came out back in March 2021. I know. Tech moves so fast these days. But even now, this phone's a beast. It shows what a dedicated gaming phone can really do. And right off the bat, it's part of the ASUS Republic of Gamers series. ROG, they call it.
That's right. That ROG branding, that tells you right away, this phone. Serious about gaming.
It definitely does. And one of the first things you'll notice, that huge 6.78-inch AMOLED display. It's got a resolution of 2448 by 1080. Pretty standard for a phone like this.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker, 144 hertz refresh rate.
Now that is a spec that'll get any serious mobile gamer excited. Think about it. You're in the middle of some intense battle royale. Every millisecond counts. That 144 hertz. That means the action feels super smooth, super responsive, no lag, no choppiness.
Ooh, okay, I get it. So, smooth display, check. What's powering all this? What's under the hood?
Well, powering this beast, you've got the Qualcomm Snapdragon 888. It was one of the best mobile chips out there when this phone came out.
For us non-techies, what does that actually mean for gaming?
Imagine you're playing something like Genshin Impact. You want those visuals to be amazing. You want that world to load fast. And most importantly, you don't want any lag, especially when it matters most. The Snapdragon 888 plus up to 16 GB of RAM, that's your ticket to smooth sailing.
Hold on, 16 GB of RAM, isn't that more than most laptops? Okay, so this phone can handle the big games, no problem. But what about space? I mean, games these days, huge.
You're telling me. Remember when we used to delete games just to make room? Yeah, ROG Phone 5 says nope to that. You get up to 512 GB of storage.
So basically, your whole game library at your fingertips. No storage stress.
You got it. And of course, all that power needs some serious juice to keep it running. The battery on this thing, that's where it gets really fun.
Right. We're talking a massive 6,000 mAh battery. To put that in perspective, most phones are rocking, what, like 4,000 mAh? So way longer gaming sessions before you even think about plugging in.
You know it. And when you do have to charge, super fast, 0 to 100 in just 52 minutes.
Whoa, that's crazy fast. You could grab a coffee, come back, and boom, you're ready for more gaming.
Yeah.
Okay, so great display, tons of power, battery that won't quit. But what about features made just for gamers? What makes this phone different from your everyday phone?
One word, AirTrigger 5. Basically, they build ultrasonic sensors into the edges of the phone. You map these to different actions in your games. It's like having extra buttons. Think shoulder buttons, like on a console controller.
Oh, so instead of messing with on-screen buttons when things get crazy, you can use these AirTriggers for aiming, shooting, reloading. Do pro mobile gamers even use those? I've always wondered how practical they are.
They're gaining traction, actually. Especially for competitive mobile games, they can give you a real advantage, especially when you need speed and precision.
That makes sense. I'd love to try those out myself. So physical controls with the AirTriggers? Awesome. What else does this phone have for gamers?
There's a game mode. This optimizes the whole phone for gaming. Blocks notifications, prioritizes your connection to the game, even manages the cooling system to prevent overheating.
So it's like a dedicated gaming zone right on your phone. Wait, so with this game mode on, I won't get hit with a random text in the middle of, a boss fight.
Exactly. No more distractions. You focus on what matters. Winning.
I love it. All about that immersive experience. And speaking of immersive, ASUS made some pretty cool accessories for this phone, right?
Oh, yeah. You've got the ROG Kunai 3 gamepad. This basically turns your phone into a handheld console. You've got joysticks, buttons, even shoulder triggers.
If you're all about that tactile feel, you can just snap this gamepad on and you've got that console experience. That's awesome. And what about the ROG Clip? What does that do?
The ROG Clip. That lets you attach your phone to a regular console controller. So if you're a PlayStation or Xbox fan, you can use those with the ROG Phone 5. It's about options, letting people play how they want.
I love that. Flexibility is key.
Right.
Okay, so we talked about the inside, the battery, the gamer features. Let's talk design. This phone definitely looks the part.
It does. Bold, gamer-centric design. You've got the customizable RGB ROG logo on the back. Come on, you gotta have RGB. It's like a gamer's badge of honor.
Right. Gotta have that RGB.
Yeah.
But besides looking cool, is there anything special about the design? Is it functional too?
Absolutely. This thing is built to last. The back panel is Gorilla Glass Victus that's super durable, scratch resistant. You can toss this phone in a bag without worrying about it.
Yeah, that's key for a gaming phone, right? We're always gripping it, especially during intense moments. Okay, so tough, cool looking. What about the cameras? I mean, it's a gaming phone, so I'm guessing cameras aren't the priority here.
True, the camera isn't the main selling point here, but that doesn't mean they skimped. It has a triple camera setup, a 64-megapixel main camera, a 13-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 5-megapixel macro lens.
So even if I'm not a pro photographer, I can still get some decent photos and videos. It's not a one-trick pony.
Exactly. It's a versatile device, great for gaming, but it can handle your everyday photography needs too.
Awesome. This phone can handle just about anything. What about sound? I mean, good audio is a must for immersive gaming.
Oh, you know ASUS delivered there? This phone, it has dual front-facing speakers, the sound quality. Impressive.
So you don't always need headphones for that immersive audio?
Not necessarily, but they also included something you don't see much anymore. A headphone jack. The good old 3.5 millimeter. So yeah, if you're rocking high-quality headphones, you can plug right in.
I'm sure a lot of gamers and audiophiles will appreciate that. Options, right?
Exactly. ASUS clearly wanted to make sure every type of gamer feels at home.
We've covered a lot. The display, the power, the battery, all those gamer features, even the design and audio. What about staying connected? What are the wireless options on this phone?
Everything you'd expect from a top-tier phone. It's got 5G, super fast downloads and uploads, Wi-Fi 6 so you're good at home or on the go, and Bluetooth 5.2 for those wireless headphones, controllers, all that.
So no matter how you connect, you're good to go. Okay, let's talk software. What operating system does this thing run on? Anything special about it?
Android 11. But here's the twist. It's got ASUS's own custom user interface, the ROG UI.
And this ROG UI, it's all about making the gaming experience better, right? Tell me more.
Optimization and customization. That's what it's all about. You can fine-tune performance settings, adjust the RGB lighting, create profiles for different games, even change the whole look and feel. It's your phone, your way.
It sounds like a gaming operating system built right into the phone.
You could say that. It gives gamers control and customization options you won't find on your typical Android phone.
I'd love to see how it all works in action. See how much of a difference it makes when you're actually playing a game.
Oh, I think you'd be impressed. It really adds to the whole gaming experience.
All right, so we've covered pretty much everything about the ROG Phone 5. But the big question, how much does this cost?
The million-dollar question. It depends on what version you get, where you buy it from. But let's just say it's a premium phone. You're paying for quality.
So flagship phone territory. Not exactly budget-friendly.
You got it. But for people serious about mobile gaming, this is an investment. This phone is built to last, and it's got power and features you won't find in a cheaper phone.
So it's about what you're looking for, right? If you only play a few games here and there, maybe this is overkill. But for those who are serious about mobile gaming, who want that advantage, who want a phone that can handle anything, then this is the phone to consider.
Absolutely. Don't forget, this phone was top of the line back in 2021, so even now, it's a powerful device.
Good point. So you get a lot for your money, even today. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. Think about mobile gaming as a whole. It's changed so much, and it keeps growing like crazy. What do you think about the future of gaming phones like this one? Will they always be a thing, or will they just become like regular phones as technology gets better?
That's an interesting question. It's like trying to predict the future of gaming. On one hand, everyday phones are getting more powerful. And with cloud gaming coming up, some say gaming phones might not be necessary anymore.
So the idea is, if you can stream any game from the cloud to any decent phone, why bother with a special gaming phone?
That's one way to look at it, but I think there will always be a need for dedicated gaming phones, even if that market becomes smaller.
You're saying there will always be gamers who want the best of the best, the fastest, most responsive experience, a phone designed just for them.
You got it. Think about it. You've got your casual gamers who play a little on their commute or during lunch. Then you've got your hardcore esports players who need every advantage they can get.
It's like the difference between playing basketball with friends and being a pro athlete, right? Pros need the best equipment.
Perfect analogy. And just like athletes need their gear, serious mobile gamers will always want phones that give them the best performance and control.
That makes a lot of sense. So even if regular phones keep getting better for gaming, There will always be a need for phones that push the limits.
Exactly. And I think companies like ASUS will keep pushing the boundaries. We'll see even more powerful processors, faster screens, maybe even new ways to interact with games.
Like what? Give me an example.
Imagine a phone with haptic feedback so real, you can feel different surfaces in the game. You're walking on grass, gravel, sand, and you can actually feel it.
Whoa. That would change everything. It'd be like bringing touch to mobile gaming.
Exactly. Or think about eye tracking tech in a phone. Aim your weapon just by looking at the target. Control menus with your eyes. Crazy stuff, right?
It's like something out of a sci-fi movie.
I know, right? But this tech is getting closer. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it in gaming phones soon.
That's wild. What other cool stuff will we see in mobile gaming? It's exciting to think about.
We're just getting started. As technology keeps advancing, the line between mobile gaming, console gaming, PC gaming, it'll get blurrier. I can't wait to see what happens.
Me too. It's a great time to be a mobile gamer. Okay, so we talked about the future of gaming and all that, but let's get back to the ROG Phone 5. We've seen all the cool features, but for the average gamer, what's the takeaway? Why should they care about this phone?
At the end of the day, this phone is about giving you the ultimate mobile gaming experience. If you're someone who lives and breathes mobile games, if you want that extra edge, if you want a phone that understands your passion for gaming, this is the phone for you.
It's more than a phone, it's a statement, right?
You got it. It's like saying, hey, I'm a mobile gamer and I'm proud of it. And ASUS is backing that up with some serious tech.
Okay, I'm convinced. If I needed a new gaming phone, this would be at the top of my list. But what about the cost? What should someone expect to pay for a phone like this?
Well, the price varies. Depends which model you get, where you buy it. But it's a premium phone. Remember, it's top of the line, packed with cutting-edge tech.
But you get what you pay for, right?
Exactly. You're paying for performance, features, and durability. You're investing in your gaming experience.
So for serious mobile gamers, the ROG Phone 5 is worth checking out. But what about those gamers who also love photography? We mentioned the camera is decent, but is it good enough for someone who's serious about taking pictures?
That's a great question, and it deserves a closer look. The ROG Phone 5 can handle your everyday photos, but remember, it's primarily a gaming phone. So let's dive into the camera a bit more and see how it stacks up against phones that are built for photography.
Sounds good. Let's explore the world of mobile photography and see if this phone can compete.
Let's do it. We'll check out the specs, the image quality, the whole photography experience on the ROG Phone 5.
Stay tuned, folks. We're about to get into the nitty-gritty of mobile photography with the ROG Phone 5.
All right, so let's get into those cameras on the ROG Phone 5. Remember, it's a triple camera setup on the back.
Yep. 64 megapixels on the main camera, 13 for the ultra-wide, and then a 5 megapixel macro lens. Sounds good, but how do those actually perform when you're out taking pics?
Well, if you're just snapping pics for fun or social media, it does the job. You'll get some nice, sharp images. Colors look good, especially in good lighting. And that ultra-wide lens, handy for landscapes or when you're trying to fit everyone in the shot.
So quick pics, online sharing, no problem. But what about for people who, are a bit more serious about their photography?
That's where it gets interesting. The hardware itself is decent, but the ROG Phone 5 doesn't have the same software processing as those phones that are made for photography.
So you're saying the megapixels are high, but the final picture might not be as good as some other phones that are, camera focused.
Exactly. Think about phones like the Google Pixel or iPhone. They're known for their image processing. That can make a huge difference, especially when the lighting isn't great.
Right, that makes sense. So if you're a big mobile photography person trying to get amazing shots in low light or doing fancy stuff, the ROG Phone 5 might not be the best tool for the job.
True. But for the average gamer who wants to take some decent photos, the camera is more than enough.
Okay, so the camera's good for everyday use, but not for the pros.
Got it. Let's talk about something we haven't really touched on. Design. We know this phone has that gamer look, the RGB logo and all, but is there anything about the design that's really special or usable?
One thing that comes to mind is where they put the charging port. It's on the side, not on the bottom like most phones.
Wait, really? Why would they do that? Seems kind of strange.
Think about it. You're holding the phone sideways, gaming. If the port's on the bottom, it gets in the way of your hand, or the cable sticks out weirdly. Oh, right. I didn't think of that. So side charging means you can hold it comfortably while gaming, even if it's plugged in. That's pretty clever.
Right. It shows that ASUS really thought about how gamers use their phones. They paid attention to the little things.
I like that. Little details can make a big difference. Okay, we talked about the inside, the battery, the screen, all the gamer features, even the camera and the design. Anything else we should talk about?
We should definitely get into the software. We mentioned the ROG UI, but we should take a closer look at what makes it good for gaming.
Okay, I'm ready. I always like seeing how software can make a phone better for gaming.
The heart of ROG UI, the Armory Crate. It's basically your gaming command center. Check system performance, change game settings, make profiles for different games, even launch your games all from one place.
Like a gaming control panel, but on your phone. Sounds cool.
It is. And it's easy to use. Everything's laid out nicely, so you don't have to be a tech whiz to customize your gaming experience.
I like that. It sounds powerful, but not too complicated.
That's ASUS for you. They want to give everyone the best gaming experience, whether you're a hardcore gamer or just starting out. And there are other cool touches in ROG UI too. Special themes and wallpapers just for gamers. You can even sync the RGB lighting with your games or notifications. It's all about creating your own gaming world.
Wow, that's attention to detail. It really shows they get what gamers want.
They do. And here's the best part. ASUS is always updating and improving ROG UI. They listen to what gamers say and add new features all the time.
That's good to hear. It means that even though this phone is a few years old, the software isn't outdated.
Exactly. ASUS is all about providing the best gaming experience, and that means keeping the software fresh and relevant.
It's annoying when you buy a phone and then they stop updating the software after a while.
I know, but with ASUS, you can be sure they'll keep supporting the ROG Phone 5 for a long time.
Okay, so we've pretty much covered everything about the ROG Phone 5.
Yeah.
The hardware, the software, all the gaming stuff, even the camera and design. This phone is a beast for mobile gaming, no doubt.
It definitely is. It shows how far mobile gaming has come.
Yeah, think about it. Mobile games used to be so simple, basic graphics. Now, they're just as good as console and PC games, sometimes even better.
It's incredible. And the ROG Phone 5 shows how phone makers are stepping up their game to keep up with these amazing games.
So for our listeners who are wondering if a gaming phone is right for them, what are the big takeaways from our look at the ROG Phone 5?
If you're serious about mobile gaming, if you want the best performance and features, then a phone like this is worth thinking about. It's an investment in your gaming, and it can give you a real edge.
Makes sense. And even if you're not a hardcore gamer, but you just want a phone that can handle anything, this phone can do it.
Oh, yeah. It's powerful, versatile, good for gaming, photos, everyday stuff. It's a workhorse.
Okay, so the ROG Phone 5 gets a thumbs up from us. But let's zoom out a bit. Talk about mobile gaming in general. What do you see happening in the future? What trends are going to shape the industry?
That's a tough one. There's so much potential. One thing I'm excited about is esports. Mobile esports, it's blowing up. Millions of people watch pro gamers battle it out for big prizes.
So as esports gets bigger, it'll push phone makers and software developers to make things even better.
Absolutely. We'll see more phones and accessories designed for competitive gaming, better screens, faster processors, even better ways to keep those phones cool. And the software. It'll be all about low latency, performance tracking, everything to give esports players an advantage.
It's like we're watching a new era of gaming being born right in front of us.
We are, and it's going to be wild.
Esports, definitely a big one. What else do you see happening?
Something else that's picking up steam. Mobile gaming connecting with other platforms. More and more games are letting you play with friends no matter what device they're using. Phone, tablet, console, PC, it doesn't matter. You can all play together.
So the lines between different gaming platforms are blurring.
Exactly. And I think that'll keep happening. We'll see more games designed to work on any device, more features that let you talk and interact with people on different platforms. It's all about breaking down those walls.
That's awesome. More freedom to play how you want, where you want.
That's the idea. And it opens up so many possibilities for gaming with friends and esports. It's a game changer.
Okay, esports, cross-platform play, those are big. Anything else?
One more that I'm keeping an eye on, cloud gaming.
Cloud gaming. Right, we talked about that before. The whole idea that maybe we won't need dedicated gaming phones anymore. Remind me, how does cloud gaming work again?
Think of it like Netflix, but for games. Instead of watching a movie, you're playing a game. The game runs on a super powerful server somewhere, and you're playing it on your phone, but it's all happening remotely.
So my phone doesn't need to be super powerful. All the hard work happens on the server.
You got it. That means you could play the best, most demanding games even on a budget phone. It's all about the internet connection.
Wow, that's cool. So even people who can't afford expensive phones can play the latest games. That's amazing.
It is, and it could change everything about mobile gaming.
So are you saying cloud gaming could make phones like the ROG Phone 5 obsolete?
It's definitely possible. If
Yeah.
cloud gaming gets really good, no lag, works perfectly, then maybe we won't need these super powerful gaming phones anymore.
But what about the serious gamers, the esports pros? They'll still want the best, fastest experience, right?
Probably. But that market might get smaller. It's like what happened with streaming services and cable TV. Some people still have cable, but most people stream now.
Right, it's a good comparison. So the future of mobile gaming, it's a bit of a mystery.
It is. Will phones like this one stick around? Will cloud gaming take over? Who knows? But one thing's for sure, mobile gaming is changing fast, and the next few years are going to be wild.
I can't wait. Okay, so esports, cross-platform play, cloud gaming, and maybe the end of gaming phones as we know them. Anything else we should talk about?
One more trend, and it's related to everything we've talked about. Mobile gaming. It's becoming a serious form of entertainment.
What do you mean by that?
For a long time, people thought mobile gaming was just a way to kill time. Something you did while waiting for the bus? Not real gaming, right?
Yeah, it wasn't taken seriously.
Exactly. But that's changing. Esports is growing. Mobile games are getting more complex. Big game companies are investing serious money. Now, mobile gaming is right up there with console and PC gaming.
So it's not just a casual thing anymore. It's a real deal form of entertainment.
That's the idea. And I think that'll keep happening. We'll see more people choose mobile as their main way to play games. More investment, more innovation.
That's cool. It means mobile gaming has a bright future.
It does. And it's going to be fun to watch it happen.
Right. Esports, cross-platform play, cloud gaming, and mobile gaming becoming a major form of entertainment. Anything else to add?
One last thing I think is important to mention, and it connects to all of this. The impact mobile gaming has on society.
What do you mean?
Mobile gaming can bring people together from all over the world. It can help people be creative, learn how to solve problems, and even be more active.
That's awesome. But there have to be some downsides too, right?
Yeah.
Like any technology, it can't be all good.
True. One of the biggest worries is how much time people spend looking at screens and the possibility of addiction. It's easy to get hooked on a game and lose track of time.
Yeah, I've definitely been there.
It happens. And it can mess with your sleep, your health, your social life, even your work or school.
So it's all about finding a balance.
Yeah.
Right. Enjoying the games, but not letting them control your life.
Exactly. It's important to play in moderation. Parents, teachers, and gamers themselves need to be aware of the risks and make sure they're playing in a healthy way.
That's really important. We need to talk about the downsides of mobile gaming, just like we talk about the downsides of any technology.
I agree. And it's not just about screen time and addiction. There's online safety, cyberbullying, and even the chance of meeting dangerous people in online games. Those are serious problems.
Right. Those are real issues we can't ignore.
Absolutely not. Parents and guardians need to be aware of the dangers, talk to their kids about being safe online, and keep an eye on what their kids are doing online.
Be proactive. Stay informed.
Exactly. And we need to create a culture of respect and responsibility in gaming communities. It's everyone's job to make sure gaming is fun and safe for everyone.
I like that. We all have a role to play.
We do.
Okay, so we've explored a lot about the ASUS ROG Phone 5 and the future of mobile gaming. We talked about the phone's amazing features, what's happening in the industry, and even how mobile gaming is affecting society.
We covered a lot, and it's been a great discussion.
I agree. It's always fun to talk about gaming and technology.
It is. And I think we've given our listeners some things to think about.
I hope so. But before we go, I want to leave our listeners with one last question to think about. We talked about how mobile gaming is changing and how it might change in the future, but what do you think about the bigger impact? How could mobile gaming affect our society in the long run?
That's a great question, and one that deserves a lot of thought. Mobile gaming can connect people from all over the world, help them be more creative and learn new skills. It could even help people be more active and healthy.
Those are all good things. But are there any bad things we should be worried about?
Of course. Like with anything, people can use mobile gaming in unhealthy ways. It's important to be careful about how much time you spend playing, find a good balance, and make sure you're not letting it take over your life. And we have to talk about things like addiction and bullying.
Right. It's important to be smart about mobile gaming.
It is, and it's something we need to keep talking about as mobile gaming becomes a bigger part of our lives.
Okay, I think that's a great place to end our discussion. We've explored the ASUS ROG Phone 5 and the future of mobile gaming. We've talked about how amazing this phone is, what's happening in the industry, and even how mobile gaming is changing our world.
We definitely did. And it's been a fascinating conversation.
I agree. And thanks to all our listeners for joining us on this deep dive.
We appreciate you being here.
And remember, mobile gaming is more than just a way to pass the time. It's a global phenomenon that's bringing people together, making them more creative, and shaping the way we use technology.
So go out there and enjoy the world of mobile gaming. But be responsible, be mindful, and be part of the community.
That's a great way to put it. All right, that's all for this episode of The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of tech, gaming, and everything in between.
Until then, game on.
So we talked about how mobile gaming is changing the game, so to speak. It's not just a way to kill time anymore. It's actually impacting society in some pretty big ways.
Right. Mobile gaming has blown up. It's connecting people from all over the world. Like, you could be on a bus in New York playing with someone in Tokyo and someone else in Rio, all at the same time.
Yeah, it's like breaking down walls, connecting people like never before.
Exactly. And it's not just about playing together. It's about creating, too. There are so many ways for people to make their own games, mods, even their own esports teams.
So it's a whole world built around mobile gaming now.
It is, and it's giving people a voice. They can be creative, learn new skills, even start businesses, all because they love gaming.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But we got to talk about the downsides too, right? I mean, no technology's perfect. There are always some challenges that come along with the good stuff.
Definitely. One of the biggest concerns with mobile gaming, screen time, and, well, addiction. It's really easy to get sucked in and lose track of time.
Oh, I know that feeling all too well. Those just one more level moments can turn into hours.
Right. And then you start having problems. Not enough sleep, health issues, your social life takes a hit, maybe even your work or school suffers.
So balance is key, right?
Yeah.
Enjoy the games, but don't let them rule your life.
Exactly. Moderation, that's the word. And parents, teachers, even gamers themselves need to be aware of the risks. We got to build healthy habits around gaming.
I couldn't agree more. We got to be open and honest about the bad stuff, just like we are with any technology. It's not all sunshine and rainbows.
That's so true. And it's not just screen time and addiction. There's online safety, cyberbullying. You got to think about the possibility of kids encountering bad people online. That's a real danger.
Those are some serious issues. We can't brush those aside.
We can't. Parents and guardians need to step up, be aware of the dangers, talk to their kids about safety, and keep an eye on what they're doing online.
Be proactive. Stay informed. It's all about being smart and responsible.
Absolutely. And building a culture of respect in the gaming community, it's up to all of us to make gaming safe and fun for everyone.
Love that. We all have a part to play in making gaming a positive experience.
We do.
Okay, so we've explored the ASUS ROG Phone 5, the future of mobile gaming, and even its impact on society. It's been quite a journey.
It has. And it's been fantastic talking with you about it.
Likewise. And a huge thank you to all our listeners for joining us on this deep dive.
We appreciate you tuning in.
Remember, mobile gaming is more than just games. It's a global community, a way to express creativity, and it's changing how we use technology.
So enjoy mobile gaming, but do it responsibly. Be mindful, be respectful, and be part of the community.
Great advice.
Yeah.
And that's a wrap for this episode of The Deep Dive. Catch you next time for another deep dive into the world of tech, gaming, and everything in between.
Until then, game on.